Alright. Welcome back to Kamen Rider Review, episode number 3. This is the last 4 episodes of the first era for the original Kamen Rider. Well, it's the last time we see the original guy who actually was the Kamen Rider. But here's kind of the thing. He's in episode 10. A lot. But next episodes, he's not actually there. Because every time he shows up in the series, when he's out of the suit, it's stock footage. Yes, the reason for this, which I'll get to that. So, in episode number 10, we have the return of Kamen. Yep, he gets pretty much revived by magic. Yes, seriously. He also becomes the first monster ever to get revived in the series. And he's here, and he fights, well, the Kamen Rider. He's basically revived by this sorceress, who then kidnaps 2 people. One of them happens to be a detective, and it's a really good episode, basically all about stealing gold again, like it was last episode. Though, apparently after she got her face burned, Chakra Leader is like, you've done your job. We're going to kill you now. And she proceeds to get burned to a crisp. Yeah, bring a good character, and then she gets killed off in the same episode. And then he basically have Scorpion have his rematch with Kamen Rider. He gets killed off, but don't worry, he comes back. How? It's never actually really explained how the heck comes back, despite the fact he clearly is dead. And then with the very next episode, we are used to a brand new supporting character, Taki Kazaki, who is an old friend of the main character. And, well, he's going to get married. And there's also this mysterious chapel. Oh, by the way, the monster this episode is a freaking vampire monster. Yes, a vampire monster. So, he wants to take the blood of young girls. And the first person to come across is just some bride. This couple just happened to come to this church. Like, oh yeah, let's get married here with no witnesses. And, well, then of course they use the blood on the monster. I mean, if you look at the monster, he pretty much, in a way, is basically a redesign of the Batman costume. Oh, don't worry, we'll get back to him about... yeah, and this guy pretty much moves like him, too. And that's pretty much what the vampire suit is, but except for the mask being slightly different. It's like the same suit. It's called the Gabakonder. Yes. Though if you look at it, it pretty much is a redesign for, well, a redesign for the Batman. That's kind of what the monster suit is. Mostly anyways. He's here for this episode, but he does come back in 13. I'll get to that. So, this is a good episode. Focus a lot on Taki. Yeah, as for Kamen Rider, well, he does show up a couple times in the episode. As for the guy behind the suit, nowhere to be seen. He makes long absences in the episode. As a matter of fact, get to see him for the next 2 episodes. You hear his voice a few times, though if I've heard it's actually not the actual actor portraying him, it's a different actor who's basically voicing him in post. Yeah, eventually the vampire monster's like at one point, oh, he's about to be defeated. And he's told by his assistant, run away. How about your motorcycle run away? And he proceeds to jump up in the air with the damn thing and basically run the damn motorcycle over the vampire. Yeah, kind of a odd way to kill off a monster. Using the motorcycle, which by far I think like is like the only time this whole run. And the next one simply is basically versus a, well, a lab assistant appears in the episode. Yeah, and all things about a light ray, by turning the skeletons. Yeah, it's kind of odd to say at least. The scientists want nothing to do with that damn thing. So it turns out that the assistant was actually a convert agent of Shocker. Oh, by the way, in the previous episode, in episode 11, we had these 4 combatants who basically are given personality, which, that's interesting. Yeah, these guys actually talk. No, seriously, they do. And it's like, that's why, oh, not yet, not yet. Now you can take him. Yeah, that's why they do that. So, one of the rare times in these 13 episodes, we actually a conversion into one of these monsters. Though this is the first monster not defeated by the Kamen Rider. Oh no, he's actually defeated by his former boss, who uses the very beam he basically wanted nothing to do with, used on him, and that was it for him. Yep, and that was episode 12. It is by far one of the oddest episodes, and everybody not believe a shocker. In the case of like episode 10, it looks like the detective here is not one. Actually, was sort of on their side. Basically, might get official help. Then the next episode, you had FBI show up. And by the way, the whole thing about the character being FBI is not found out to episode 13, where he's injured. And by the way, they have this soccer player. Yes, a soccer player. Yeah, and by the way, here's how episode 13 starts off. We have these two security guards just doing their duty in front of this atomic research lab, where all of a sudden they're attacked by the Batman, a monster who was killed by the camera back in episode 2 while being thrown out of a freaking building. And then here's the Scorpion. Like, I think it's like the Scorpion Man. Yeah, he pops up again. And like, they actually try to get through this, but there's a barrier there. And that becomes sort of a plot point, and they try to do it again. It's like this basically is like dropped. I know this was expanded for a movie, but man, it felt like this thing was rushed. And then it's revealed in the episode, all the previous 10 monsters the Kamen had already defeated over the course of the previous 12 episodes are all back, including the Bee Woman. Bees, my god. Yes, I'm here to say. Yeah, so the second player is very arrogant. And then he's attacked by the Chameleon Man. He's gonna beat that, no problem. And then he opens the door to his locker room, and there's the Man Spider, making his first appearance in episode 1. And he defeats the guy by Silly String. No, seriously, that is freaking Silly String. I have seen the damn thing before. Yeah, that's what we went with. Silly String. Wow, and then he's converted into a lizard man, who goes by the name of Takagiron, aka the Lizard Man. And he actually is the first monster for the Kamen Rider by name. Like, oh, you're the Kamen Rider. ABC to fight him, and like, oh crap, Kamen Rider loses. And in the episode, he actually develops a new move, the Lightning Rider Kick. And by the way, how are these cyborgs rebuilt? Like, despite the fact that the Cobra was revived by freaking magic back in episode 10, these people revived via nothing. They're just randomly rebuilt. As far as I can tell, there's no reason for this at all. My guess is the reason why it is because, well, there's stuff related to the original Kamen, I guess that. So they get this, they show off this little bomb, and they figure that the laboratory doesn't really work. Kamen stops it, and then eventually he battles all the monsters, but he battles them pretty quickly. The Scorpion, he basically tosses him aside like, wait, that was your former friend who was basically transformed into a freaking cyborg, and you basically treat him like he's freaking nothing. No, seriously, you treat him like nothing. And eventually, all the monsters defeated via the very bomb that Shocker made. And then you see Kamen right off, and that's the last you see of the original Kamen Rider, episode 40. The reason why for that, the research I've done for it is that the actor broke his leg. Yep, he fractured his leg via a motorcycle accident performing a stunt. And he had to take time away from the series. So basically, 11-13, you can see him in the episode, but he's not actually there. That is all stock footage. Yes, every time you see the Kamen Rider outside the suit, it's all stock footage. And it's just an alternate stuntman in the suit. And the thing is, he very rarely speaks. And whatever he is, basically, it's all dubbed via post-stock footage, post-production. Yes, and it's kind of an odd way to write out a character. Now, by the next episode, they introduce a brand new Kamen Rider, Kamen Rider 2. I'll eventually get to him. Don't worry. I will come back to it. Yes, as with this, I am pretty much basically putting the series in hiatus, like I do with the Super Sentai, because of the stuff where because I really want to do some anime. So I'm going to review here what anime I'm going to be doing. It's a series that actually fairly recently called Fruits of Evolution. Yep, expect to review that series in the future. And I'm also reading a lot of light novels because I got a stack of light novels next to me. I'm going to basically get done. Basically, I'm going to get that lowered, plus reading some digital ones. After all that stuff is done, I will then head back to Jetman to finish up that run and come back here to do the entirety of the second era of the second, well, basically the era of the second Kamen Rider, which is not very long. It's like 39 episodes. Yes, I'll be back for that. And then I will start my new Super Sentai. Which Super Sentai will be, you'll find out when I finish Jetman. Okay? And this will be pretty much it for videos tonight. I thought we'd have time to do the Rider Show Hero. Looks like I may have to postpone it to tomorrow or Friday at the latest because of time purposes. Because I have to get up early in the morning to go to work. So, expect to see it tomorrow. And it might be the only video I'll probably do tomorrow. Maybe that'll be in our comic corner. Okay? Next video. Bye.